Hi Audi fans, today I'm going to replace the latch on the passenger side of a 2000 Audi A4 Quattro. I'm going to try to take snippets as I go through the process, and hopefully it'll help you along the way in your journey on a similar car. So hang tight. The first thing I'm going to do is take out the screws holding the door panel on. There's one there. There's also one on the other side right there. I don't know if you can see that very good. And then we have to pop out this little panel behind the door handle, and there's another screw back there. So I will turn on the camera again when I get there and show you that process. So I'm going to take out the two screws and that panel, and then we'll be back. Move the screw, and now I'm going to insert a little screwdriver in there. I put it right there and just push down a little bit, and you can see it pop that panel out. Boy, that's hard to see. Let me get a flashlight on that. You can see that that panel's gone down, and now I'm just going to pull that out of there. So see, you're just going to have to work it a little bit. And there you go. So that's what that looks like. And set that aside, and you'll see a couple of, a couple of screws. So there's one there. Well, you can't see very good. One there. So there they are. Those have to come out. I'll take those out and we'll be back. Alright, I've removed those two screws, and now I'm going to take this door panel off. So it just slides up and off, just like that. Now we've got some things to disconnect in here. I'm going to show you those in just a minute. So hang tight. Set the door panel down. We're going to disconnect a few things. And the first thing is the door handle itself. So it's right here. There's a little clip, little metal aluminum clip of some sort, spring clip, right here. You can see it very good, right there. So I got too many things in my hand, but let me try to get this again. So right here, you can see it. You're doing better than me. So anyway, there it is, and you have to pop that off, and then this thing will come right off. So I'm gonna. All right, we're back. There's the little clip. I just pulled it right off of there. I had two hands. It was really easy. And then you just pull this out, and then it'll unhook from the door. And I'm going to unhook that, and I'll be back. All right, there's the hook unhooked. It's very simple. So I'm just going to set that aside. I'm going to go into the electrical connections. They're right here. The electric windows, lights, and whatnot. So I'm going to disconnect those. There's 3 of them, I believe, or 4, and then I'll be back. Alright, there's the connector for the window motor. You just squeeze these 2 keepers, and then it just pulls off. Okay, next we have to remove this plastic piece by the mirror. I believe it just pops off. I'll pop that off. Then we have to take off this little rubber piece, and there's another connector that runs the electric mirror outside. That has to be disconnected. So I'll get back with you in just a second. Okay, the plastic part is removed. Here it is. It has a little keeper. You can see that right there in the middle where my thumb is. So you kind of have to pull the thing as much as you can straight out. So, and then it pops off. And then we pull this rubber off kind of carefully, and there's the last connector. So we're going to disconnect that, and I'll be back. Alright, there's your last connector. Again, it has the keepers on the side. You kind of pry those out and pull that off. Alright, so here's a look at our project so far. We got the door panel off, we got the wires all disconnected. They kind of moved out of the way there. They're just hanging down. The next thing we're going to do is take off these 4 big Torx bolts. And I'll get you the Torx size as soon as I figure it out. But they're on either end. There's one there, and there's one right there. Now you'll see this silver in here. There's a little spacer. It's a wedge, and just sitting in there, so it'll fall out when I loosen that bolt. And if you're not paying attention, you'll go, where did that come from? So I'll be back. Alright, the Torx bit was a T45 size. That's T45. And I removed those 4 bolts. And we're going to just get rid of a couple more things here. The locking wire here, this pops in. And pop that out. So it just pops in and snaps in. So when everything's put together, it's just held there by snapping in. Alright, I'm going to have to set the camera down here and remove this door. Alright, the doors should be ready to come out. I don't think there's anything holding it anymore. So, I'm going to work a little bit there. Let's see. Get her out. He's holding. Alright, run the door full through. Alright, that's that. Okay. In my shop, I rested that on the table saw, so you might rest it somewhere else. When I was taking that out, this shim fell out. This shim goes on the back here, so when we put it back together, we have to remember that. This piece is the wedge that I described earlier, and it'll be pretty obvious where that needs to go when we put everything back together. Now to get to the door latch, we're going to have to remove some parts. We're going to have to take this plastic piece off, and I'm going to do that right now. Okay, I had to kind of work the bottom and pop it out, and then the top here has a little catch on it too, so you might have to work it a little bit to get it out. Alright, so here it is taken out, and the catch on the top was there. There's a little hole in the bottom here. It kind of ends up poked into something, so you have to work it. Alright, we're down to the door handle mechanism here. And up the top there's a little plastic clip. I believe that this flips, this kind of catches on there. Flips off. Nothing's ever easy. I'm going to take that off and get back. Alright, the little coaxing, came undone, and that just comes off, and we'll deal with that when we take the mechanism out, which is kind of the next thing. So we have a wire back here that you probably can't see that we'll disconnect after we loosen the mechanism. Alright, those have been removed. We're going to come around inside, pull that mechanism out, just like that. I hope you can see that. I'm going to disconnect that wire. I had to remove that screw to get that vacuum mechanism, which runs the locking system, off, and then the mechanism will be out of the door. Now, this piece that we loosened up from the outside handle that works the mechanism. Comes off as well. And for that one, you have to turn it close to where it is now. You might have to just try a little bit, but you just get it on an angle from where it normally is, and it slides out of there. This is the, I believe, the wires that send the door open close so the light comes on. You just push down on that, and on that to pull that out. Alright, the mechanism is out, it's free, and now I've actually got some learning to do myself to figure out how the new one works, so we're going to go take a look at that. Alright, you might remember I took this off a bit ago, but since the new mechanism came with that piece on there, I thought I'd better figure out how to take that off. So what I did was I squeezed those together here, which disengaged the latching mechanism, and I kind of pried at the same time, and it popped right out. So alright, it's time to install the new part. We're going to put it right in here with these two bolts. Alright, the two bolts have been put in. I'm going to reattach the vacuum line that does the locking mechanism. Alright, the locking vacuum line has been attached, and now I'm going to attach the wires for the light. That's done. So now I'm going to start putting the door back together. Some of you more astute people may have noticed that this was not put back on when I put the door back in. Don't make this mistake, because now I have to take this window out again, hook this back up. So just a warning. Alright, after the lock mechanism has been put in and connected, then this little plastic cover goes back on. Okay, I had forgotten to put this little wire on before I installed the lock, so I had to take it loose and put this on before I could continue. So don't make that mistake. Thanks. Alright, so now I've attached that rod that I had forgotten to put on. That's hooked to the handle right there. That's ready to go. And place this little black protector in, plastic thing. So I think we're ready to put the door on. Okay, I'm going to put the guts of the door back in. That in. And alright. Now we'll put the top bolts in. There's no wedges here. And then remember, on the bottom there's the small shim on this end. There's this shim on this end. So I'm going to put these in and get back to you. So this is where the lock mechanism goes. It slides in that and snaps in. So I'm just going to feed it through its hole here and put it where it belongs. And then I'm going to snap it in. Alright, and that's that. Now the door. Now the electrical connectors. We also have to put that rubber gasket back over that connector after we've hooked it up, and then the door panel. Okay, the wires have been put in, the little plastic cover's been snapped back on. We put this back in its holder. So now all I'm going to do is get the door panel. I'm going to hook up these wires, and then these slots, this slot in this slot, and this slot, and this slot are what the door panel slides on. So it hooks down, and it also hooks into this down here, and over this window ledge here. And then we put the screws in and we're done. So that's we're getting close. Okay, and that's the finished product. So I sure hope this is helpful. Have a good day.